Is everybody excited? Yeah. Okay. Welcome. What a great day to celebrate the grand opening of the world's largest Buc-ee's. Right here in Sevierville, Tennessee. I'm Brenda McCroskey. I'm CEO of the Sevierville Chamber of Commerce, and we're so pleased that Buc-ee's has chosen to make this significant investment in our business community. You know, the excitement and interest that Buc-ee's creates is palpable. In the past few months at the Chamber, we've talked to people from all over the country, and they're Buc-ee's fanatics. Sometimes they travel specifically to visit a store, and they almost always make the point to stop at every Buc-ee's along their journey. It's truly a fan favorite and something we know will be wildly successful here in Sevierville. Buc-ee's will be the first of many ribbon cuttings that we will have together on this property. We look forward to the continued development of the 407 Gateway to Adventure. So, on behalf of our city and the Chamber of Commerce, thank you for choosing Sevierville. We look forward to many years of success together. Now, let's start off our program in a good way. Our county mayor has overseen continuous economic growth over his state record 45 years in office. Let's welcome County Mayor Larry Waters.
Thank you very much, Brenda. She said 45 years. I want you to know I started when I was really young. I want to welcome you all here today and say thank you for being here. You know, I especially want to say something to Beaver Alpin, who's one of the owners of Buc-ee's. What a great job marketing they have done. My granddaughter Amelia would rather go to a Buc-ee's as go to Disney World. That's how great a job. She's here today, so she loves Buc-ee's as I know you all do. So what a great day here in Sevierville and Sevier County that we have. I want to begin by recognizing a few folks, and if you would just hold your applause to the end. First, we have a number of countywide elected officials here, including all of the office holders at the courthouse and our county commission who've been very supportive. If you're one of the countywide elected officials, please raise your hand. If you're in the audience or up here, thank you all for being here and thank you for what you do. I want to take just a moment to recognize our state folks. We have a couple of state senators, Senator Sutherland. Raise your hand. We have Senator Nicely. We also have our two House members. We have Representative Carr and Representative Farmer with us today. Would you join them in welcoming these state officials? Thank you all for being here. Thank you for your support for Sevier County and Sevierville. Also, I will mention that we have our U.S. representatives. We have our Congresswoman here. Congresswoman Harshbarger is here. We have Senator Haggerty, and we also have Senator Blackburn. They're going to say a few words in a moment, but welcome them to Sevierville and Sevier County. Thank them for being here today. They all do a great job for representing us in D.C. I especially today want to thank the Cherokee Nation. I think Mr. Richard French is going to speak on behalf of Chief Sneed today, but they are responsible for this whole development. They've done a great job, and I appreciate them. I appreciate working with them, as I know Mayor Fox is going to mention that as well. Governor Lee and your state folks have been tremendous in working with us, and we appreciate the support of the administration, and we look forward to continuing to work with them on making improvements in Sevierville and Sevier County. The folks in the city of Sevierville, they'll be introduced here, but they've worked very hard as well to make this a reality. You know, Buc-ee's is owned by Beaver Alpin and Don Washek. I don't know if Don is here, but I know Beaver is here, and we thank them certainly today for being here, for making this. Is going to be the largest, at least for a while. They're building another one in Texas, but this is going to be the largest Buc-ee's in the United States when it opens. Is that right? That's right. And let me say, the fact that it's the largest, Beaver, it will always have more folks visiting and spending money here than any Buc-ee's you've got. That's the main thing, isn't it? So we appreciate that. We know that Buc-ee's was started in 1982. They expanded into convenience stores in 2003. We know in 2018 that they expanded all over the Southeast into other states. They're in 6 states now. Just think how fast they're growing. They are in 6 states. They have plans to go in 6 more states. What a great organization that they have. They're known for the great food, briskets. We're all going to go in and have a brisket after a while, aren't we? I know I am. They're known for clean restrooms and the merchandise that they have. There's not a Walmart in the nation that beats a Buc-ee's, is there? What great community partners that Buc-ee's will be and are here in Sevier County and Sevierville. They do so much for the community. They're going to provide good jobs for our community and economic development. They're going to be the anchor here at the gateway to the Smokies, that the Cherokees are development. We're going to have a lot more groundbreakings here in the future, just so you can see what a tremendous job that they're doing. So I thank you all for being here. What a great day. And as soon as this is over, speaking on behalf of Beaver and the Buc-ee staff, as soon as this is over, go in and spend all the money you can. Thank you.
Another cheer for Buc-ee's! Okay, we are so fortunate to have strong leadership in our community, in the county, and the city. And I would like to introduce a man that I've had the privilege of knowing for many years. He's a longtime Sevierville police chief before he retired and became Dollywood's chief of security. So he knows a thing or two about creating a fun and safe environment. His roots run deep in service and love for Sevierville. Please welcome Mayor Robbie Fox.
Thank you, Brenda. I was going to step up, grab the microphone, and just drop it and say Buc-ee's is open, but that didn't work out. Good morning. I'm truly excited to be here this morning. This has been quite a journey, by the way. Before I get started, I would like to recognize and thank some very important people in my world. Obviously, these elected officials are here to support us. We very much appreciate that. But the folks I want to recognize are our aldermen, Alderman Wayne Helton, Alderman Mitch Rader, Alderman Travis McCroskey, Alderman Joey Oman. Please give these gentlemen a hand for what they do for the citizens of the I also want to recognize Mr. Russell Treadway, our esteemed city administrator, Ms. Lynn McClurg and Ms. Lynn McClurg, our city recorder, and Mr. Dustin Smith, our deputy city administrator. If you would, please give them a big hand. They're very much responsible for what happened. Also, on behalf of the city, I want to take this opportunity to thank our partners in this, and I'll go through the list. Principal Chief Richard Sneed and the Tribal Council of the Eastern Band of the Cherokee Indians. They're the driving force behind the project in the 407 Gateway Adventure. If you would, help me thank them. Also, Mr. Mark Hull with Kadua and his team for all their efforts and hard work. I also want to thank Mr. Matthew Cross and Mr. Lewis Frazier for their what they have done to bring this together. It would also be wrong if I did not give a shout out to Mr. Alan Newton of the Sevier County Economic Development and his staff. Actually, I think Emily did most of the work, but it's his staff and what they've done to help facilitate the project. I especially want to thank Mr. Beaver Appling, one of the founders of Buc-ee, and his team for choosing Sevierville as the absolute best place in the world to build the world's largest Buc-ee. I think I can use that, can I? Right. Thank you, sir, for your faith in the city's future. I appreciate the distinction of having the world's largest Buc-ee's here in Sevierville, Tennessee, but I understand that distinction will be short-lived, and I hear that a larger one is already planned and may even be under construction in the state of Texas. Yes, in Texas. We know that everything is bigger in Texas, and this new store will be 1,000 feet. They had to just make it 1,000 feet bigger, I guess. But it's like Larry said, people still come here and spend the money. And we're going to shout that from the rooftops that we have the world's largest Buc-ee's. You get the drift on the world's largest. Okay, we're very proud of that fact and appreciate it very much. We certainly wanted to know what to expect going forward as government employees and part of the group. So we did what any self-respecting government officials would do. We formed a team, actually a foursome, if you will, and headed out on a fact-finding commission to the Leeds, Alabama store. Now, I liked everything there except for one. They had Alabama shirts, and I didn't care much. Upon arrival, it was interesting to watch the heavy traffic coming in and out of the facility. They were lined up, backed up from the pump to the interstate. The parking lot was packed, and people were everywhere. The retail was packed, and food and snacks on one end, and T-shirts, grills, and deer stands on the other. The store was immaculate. There is no better way to describe it. We met with Mr. Stan Beard there. He's part of the corporate group, and he took us on a tour of the food production. I remember being in the kitchen and watching how the food was being prepared. That made me want one of those brisket sandwiches. So I got one. I also remember a gentleman out front with a large cleaver cutting meat on a cutting board, and about every 10 minutes he would holler, "We've got brisket on the board, we've got brisket on the board." It was fun to watch their employees, and this morning I went in to watch what was going on out there. Their employees have a great time working here, and I know you're going to have a great time inside. After watching the traffic flow and the people coming in and out of the store carrying those large packages, we knew we had to have one of those in Sevierville. We also know that this would have a huge impact on our city's annual budget. Now, I kind of like that, just in case you're wondering. I really like that. There's no doubt in my mind that the world's largest Buc-ee's will be a resounding success. The city of Sevierville will do everything we can to ensure that success. Now, 4,302. Your obvious question is, what does that number mean to me? Well, that, ladies and gentlemen, will be the number of people who have asked me, when is Buc-ee's going to open? I'm ready to cut the ribbon when you are, and then have a brisket sandwich, a muffin, and a Coke. Thank you.
Thank you, Robbie. As you all probably know, GATU, the tribally owned and operated economic development organization, invested an initial $13.5 million in over 200 acres surrounding this exit, and have worked with Knoxville-based OE experiences, and they're quickly developing this entire acreage into a new entertainment experience. So you'll hear more about that. Next up, I would like to introduce Chairman Richard French of the Eastern Band of the Cherokee Indians and the Tribal Council. Chairman French.
Good morning. Thank you. First of all, I'd just like to say we are happy to be working with such a great group of people, and look forward to doing a lot more work here, developing this project here. Just want to thank Beaver also for bringing Buc-ee's here, and also it was even on the Today Show this morning, the largest Buc-ee's opening in Sevierville, Tennessee. So they say everything's bigger in Texas, but not today. It is in Sevierville. But just want to send apologies out for the chief and vice chief. Had some things come up, weren't able to attend today. So we'd like to say we're looking forward to a lot more adventure and stuff, working with everyone here in Tennessee, and looking for more development here so people can come. While I'm here, we want to give some gifts out for, we've got 3 here. I've got Cameron, if he can come up and help me. Governor Lee.
Thank you, sir.
Senator Haggerty. Senator Blackburn. Also, we want to thank Commissioner Zell, Mayor Fox and Waters, and all the Tennessee representatives. Beaver Applin, founder of Buc-ee's. We want to thank you for building the Buc-ee's here on the project here. Also want to send a thank you out and recognize all the tribal council that are here today. If you'll raise your hand, be recognized. This is about half of our tribal council. We have 12 members. The Kadua LLC. We have our EBCI royalty that travel with us and represent the tribe for us. And I just want to also thank all the members of the Eastern Band that have made it over today. Like I said, this is a great day for Eastern Band, but it's also a great day for the state of Tennessee, and we look forward to a lot more ribbon cutting to come along. So thank y'all. Have a good day.
Thank you, Chairman French. We are very honored to have our U.S. delegation here. We have several people on the federal level. In fact, all three. So we are very honored, and first we would like to hear from U.S. Congresswoman Diana Harshbarger.
I'm not as tall as the rest of them, but listen, it's a pleasure to be here today. It's a beautiful day, and this is a beautiful Buc-ee's. And, you know, from Tennessee, we gave Texas Davy Crockett and Sam Houston. And look what we got in return. The first largest Buc-ee's in the whole country. So I think it's great. It's an honor for me to represent the 1st District, and we're number one for a reason. And I tell all my colleagues down the state, you can't take that away from us, being number one. And it's the elected officials that are standing behind me that work for this county. You're looking at Mayor Waters, Mayor Fox, and all the fine folks that represent us on the state level and then the federal level. But this is a good day to be in Tennessee. And remember, we are the first largest Buc-ee's in the country. And with that,
thank you, Congresswoman. We are honored to have you here. And we also have our senior senator, U.S. Senator Marsha Blackburn.
Thank you all. What a delight to join you. You know, it's so important to realize government does not create jobs. We create the environment for jobs growth to take place. And when you look at your local elected officials, your state elected officials, our great governor, who is making certain Tennessee is the best place to live, to work, to rear your family, and as we're finding out, the best place to move your business. And we know that that is one of the reasons that Buc-ee's chose to come to Sevier County, Tennessee. Also, they know they're going to have the best workforce on the face of the earth, right? All of these good Tennesseans. And as Congresswoman Harshbarger was saying, there would not be a Texas without Tennessee. And we also need to realize things might be bigger in Texas, but they are better in Tennessee. And today is proof of that. Thank you all.
That was good. Thank you, Senator Blackburn. We like that. And last but not least, we have a wonderful surprise in Senator Bill Haggerty. Thank you for being here, Senator Haggerty.
So welcome, everybody. It is great to be here with you today. It's a point of pride for me to be back here standing in this very site when I think a little more than 3 years ago, I stood here with Matt Cross talking about a vision of what this place might be. If you look around today, you've seen Buc-ee's go vertical here. This is a magnificent investment. Just look over here. You can see the groundbreaking here. This is a tremendous asset for Tennessee. But step back and take a breath. How picturesque is this? It's absolutely spectacular. We're showing the best of Tennessee here today. An absolutely great workforce. A tremendous amount of effort has gone into the investment here. I want to thank the tribal leaders for making the investment. I want to thank the people like Matt Cross and his team for the development, the Blaylocks who've done all the work to get us right here on this site today. And I certainly want to thank Buc-ee's and their management team for choosing Tennessee, the best state on the earth to do business. Thanks to all of you.
Thank you, Senator Haggerty. We're so glad you're here. Now I get to introduce a man who is in my industry, and we are so happy that Governor Lee asked him to be the tourism commissioner. Mark Ezell has been a strong champion and proponent of our industry. He's been very successful in taking our Tennessee up the ranks nationally in the country. We're so proud of him. He's been a voice for us. He's been a champion. His enthusiasm is unparalleled, and we are appreciative of him. Please welcome Tennessee Department of Tourist Development Commissioner Mark Ezell.
Thank you, and what an exciting day. This is a big deal. I mean, to have the blessing of our federal leaders, with Congresswoman, both of our United States senators here, to have the members of our General Assembly, and I can tell you, getting to work with them and promote tourism is a real thrill for me because they get tourism. This county spends, and really the first thing I want to do is say thank you to you, the people of Sevier County and the surrounding counties, for the way you welcome visitors. And Buc-ee, Beaver, what you're going to really enjoy about this community is that we may not stay the largest size store, but we're probably going to say the most attended store. We got the most attended national park in America, and they set records because they know how to take care of visitors. And we know you and your company knows how to take care of visitors and treat them very well. So we're just so thrilled to be here. Thank you to the businesses that are doing this, and then your local leadership is amazing in taking care of that customer. So it's my honor to get to say, to introduce this next person, as he has helped fund tourism projects along with the General Assembly that have allowed us to set some records. He'll probably mention a couple of those that we are doing, and no one's doing it more than East Tennessee. In just Sevier County and Knox County and those surrounding contiguous counties, you have more visitor spending than 12 states in America. Just those 9 counties led by Sevier County. Give yourselves a hand. It's a tremendous feat. And we get to use that visitor spending on benefiting the 7 million Tennesseans. So whether it's helping work with the General Assembly and the rest of you in creating the fastest growing economy, or the lowest per capita tax rate, or helping fund tourism, it is my honor, and he is accompanied by the First Lady today, it is my honor to introduce our 50th governor, Governor Bill Lee.
Thank you, Mark. Boy, thank you all for coming out here. Isn't it great to live in the greatest state in America? Yep. We do. And when you live in the greatest state in America, and by the way, I like to say, people in this country have decided that this is one of the greatest places in the country. It's why we have so many people moving into this state. It's why we have so many people visiting this state. The fastest growing tourism state in the country, as related to dollars spent by outsiders. Companies moving from all over America into Tennessee. People look around this country and they see a lot of things, but when they look to Tennessee, they see a place that reminds them that America hadn't lost her way. And we haven't in this state,
and that's why we are the best state in the country. And I am honored to be here today. There are a whole lot of people. This is a big deal, as was said. When you have your U.S. senators, U.S. congressmen, when you have the leadership and the members of the House and the Senate and the General Assembly, and by the way, I think Representative Jeremy Faison was not name called out, but he is here as well, along with the others whose names have already been mentioned. Those are the folks that we get to work alongside with every day. But when you have all of this, county mayors, the tribal leaders, it's representative of how big a deal this really is. And as the governor of this state, whenever I get to see the people of Tennessee acknowledge the greatness of this state, it reminds me of the honor that we have here. I'm very, very fortunate to be in this spot, and we are very fortunate to be Tennesseans. We have so many things going for us in this state. You know, we don't create jobs, as Senator Blackburn said. This state does create an environment. It's why we're investing in transportation in this state. It's why we invest in tourism. It's why we invest in workforce development, to make sure that more and more Tennesseans have access to opportunities so their lives can be better. Maria and I'm so proud and so honored to be standing here alongside my wife. Please recognize First Lady Maria Lee. We are so proud to be living in this state and to be able to represent you, and we thank you for it. I have enough thank yous for all the folks that have been here. Special thank yous to you. It's the people of Tennessee that make this state great. It's not the elected officials or the leaders that work to serve you. It's the people of Tennessee that Americans look at and say, something about those people I like. I think I want to visit there, move my business there, or move there myself. So thank you for who you are and what this community that you create, especially right here in East Tennessee, where it is smoking.
Yes, it is.
And we know it, and we're real happy about that. You know, what's happening here is evidence that it's smoking. And Don Wasick and Beaver Appland made the decision to invest an enormous amount of capital here. And what would be typically known as a big risk, but they know it's not a big risk because they know the people of Tennessee. I leaned over to him, to Beaver a few minutes ago, and I said, these are your people. This is what you sell, what you do, what you represent here. This is the kind of thing that the people in our state appreciate and love. That's why so many of y'all are out here. That's why so many people are here to celebrate this opening. Beaver Appland and I met each other a few years ago at a football game. And when I met him and we talked about what his business was and what his vision was for his business, it had already been unfolded for decades, but his future vision for what it would be, I knew that this was a person that needed to be investing big in Tennessee, and I encouraged him to do so, and he already had plans to do so, but I told him then, I said, you open the biggest store in our state and I'll be there. And I'm proud to be standing alongside him today. If you read the story about this great American story that is manifest here today, it's impressive. He comes from a rich history of a family business who understands what it means to serve his customers and to be rewarded for such, and to turn around and invest back in the communities that have invested in their stores. So I'm very proud to introduce to you the founder of this great company, the man who has, along with his partner, who's here today as well, Don Wasick, has invested in Tennessee and added one more check mark to the list of items that makes Tennessee the greatest place in America, Beaver Appland.
Oh my. What a warm Tennessee welcome. Thank y'all. Been a lot said. This has been a long time coming, but I just want to start by telling everyone here that everyone at Buc-ee's is so humble for the welcome and just the way you guys show up, the way you attend, the way you love what we do. It makes my partner and I feel really, really good for people to love what we do. And so I want to thank y'all. There's been people here since the wee hours of the morning. There's been people traveled from long, long ways to come for a store opening. So thank y'all for that. What the governor said is right. You know, I told him that I wanted to be in Tennessee, and he said, well, if you build one, I'll be there, and I'll be danged if he didn't show up. So y'all have a great governor. You have a great state. You know, there's been a fair amount of comparison, it seems, this morning between Texas and Tennessee, and probably fair enough. And there may be some truth to the fact that if y'all hadn't given us Davy Crockett and Sam Houston, there may not be a Texas. So thank y'all for that. But we're here. I came here many years ago, looked at this. I'd never seen a town like this. It just crawls with people in the community, in the county, and everyone here's on vacation, and everyone's looking for something like this. But wow, I couldn't find a place, and I looked at the top of that mountain, and I said, how do you do that? And this was a mountain here, and left and went back and continued looking. And one day I got a call that the Cherokee Nation owned this property, and that they just felt like they could take the top off of a mountain for Buc-ee. So you would have to see this to believe it. I mean, this literally was the top of a mountain. So thank y'all. Thank y'all for that. Thank you very much, because this wouldn't have happened. This wouldn't have happened without them. It just wouldn't. This is the world's largest Buc-ee's, and when the way this transpired is, I highly suspect this very well will be the busiest store that we've ever built, which is why we designed a new prototype. We've never designed it before. It's about 45% bigger than a normal store that we build. And we thought this was the location to build it. So we designed it and we built it. The one thing that didn't occur to me is how many of my Texas friends I would make mad about doing that. So just as a personal note, I had to fix that. So we have designed and built in a store slightly smaller, larger in Luling, Texas. But this entire design was created by how fabulous this community is. The tourism that they mentioned, that the governor mentions, it's just incredible here, the people. So we're excited about being at the gateway of the nation's busiest national park. When you think about that a minute, that's a really, really big thing. The mayor mentioned that his maybe, I don't know, daughter or granddaughter said she'd rather go to Buc-ee's than Disney, and so that's a great mark. That's a great bar. It makes us feel great. But our next business is to get her to be as excited about coming to Buc-ee's as Dolly World. So that's what we're working on. Disney's one thing, but Dolly World, that's next level. So, but anyway, we thank y'all for that. We do enjoy being part of the community. One thing we like is the employment base here. The people, was mentioned earlier, are just incredible. I've asked all the people that work for Buc-ee's, how's our crew, how are our people, and they are just top notch. And so we're so excited. My job is easy. I get up here and get to say hello and welcome everybody, but it's the 8,500 people that make this thing go, and the people behind us. So when we come to community, my partner Don and I, we take great pride in our pay scale. You'll probably seen the billboards. We're over the top on pay. We think that that's important for people to have a livable wage. And we've already hired over 400 people just for this store opening. And I'm talking about full-time people, 400 full-time people. So you know, we really, really enjoy that. We look forward to being in the community, being here. This is going to be a phenomenal location for a long, long time to come. We're blessed. God blessed us. The horrible thunderstorms that blew through have gone, and now it's just a beautiful day. So I want to thank everybody for coming. I hope y'all get to experience the Buc-ee's. It's what our vision is, to bring to new communities, to new travelers.
going to let the governor. Well, I just walked up and said, could we, if you would please, if you're so inclined, let's pray for this man right now. Father, we thank you for this person that you created, and this man, whatever his situation is. Father, I ask your Spirit to fall on him and heal him, that you cover him, that you protect him. All of us, Father, ask you to put your hand on him in healing and in peace. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you.
Everyone, we're going to regroup here a little bit. I want to thank the governor for leading us in a prayer for Mr. Farrell. I actually got to visit with him, and he's quite alert. He was asking people to take notes for him. He's a local recorder, and so he's in great spirits. He wanted us to take notes, and he wanted us to continue with this day, and so we will. It's a bit awkward, but that was Mr. Farrell's request. So I think we continue on with the ribbon cutting. I may suggest whenever you get a chance, we'll make this fast so everybody can get out of the heat. But I may suggest everybody try to hydrate. I'm not sure if that's what happened to Mr. Farrell, but we all need to be careful. So I want to thank everybody for coming. We're going to wrap that up with that. I just can't say enough for the welcome that y'all have given us here in Sevierville and in Tennessee. So I want to thank you. So what's next? We do the ribbon cutting? Thank you. I want to thank the Tribal Council. I want to thank all of the elected officials that are here. And I want to thank all of the people that make what we do work. So thank you so much, and our prayers will be with Mr. Farrell. Thank you. Governor, we'll do the ribbon cutting if you want.
I'd like to ask the speakers, the U.S. and state senators, to come up for the ribbon cutting. This concludes the ceremony.
Right here.